Hey, it's Gamer Skelemystyk. Are you one of the newer players in Wizard101? Maybe you are running around Wizard City and you've fought all the enemies there all the way up to Nord Lightshade, and you've had a little bit of trouble with him. Are you an older player? Maybe you've been here for a long time now. Maybe you've only been here for even a short time, but you're really, really dedicated, and you're all the way up into Polaris, where you meet Omen Strybog, and that guy is just loaded, and you just cannot wait to rip off some of his stuff for your very own. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're already past all that, and you're a very, very seasoned player, and you're at Mirage, and you're fighting Old Cobb, and he seems like the most difficult enemy ever. Well, the thing that all of those enemies have in common is that if you go and you can find at least a reasonably experienced other team or players, those bosses and those enemies become a lot less difficult to deal with. All of those are all well and good, but there's an enemy that I really want to talk about today in this video. And it seems like none of us, no matter how many of us there are able to once and for all defeat him. And that enemy is us. Now, I will be the first to admit that there are several things about this game that could use some improvement since it started. Sure, common complaints that you'll hear is it costs so much to keep playing this game, and there's content is not updated very often, and man, PvP just sucks. They changed this, they changed that, they changed the other. My school doesn't seem like it can win any PvP matches at all. They keep changing the rules and messing me up. I get a strategy, and I just don't know what to do because they change it, and they mess things up for me. And man, it's just so broken. That's the kind of stuff you'll hear all day long. Now, if you were a new player, you hear that kind of stuff, and you're like, wait, what, really? Is this game really worth it? Is it really that fun? I mean, why do people play this if it's that toxic? That's just it. Of all of the enemies that this game has, both in the game and outside the game, the worst enemy is us ourselves. Have you ever been in the commons and just sat there and watched some of the stuff that people say to each other? You know, maybe they're not even saying it to you. Maybe there's some guy over there across from the commons pond, and he's just standing there minding his own business, and somebody comes up and starts making fun of him, or looks down on him. I mean, maybe he has, maybe he doesn't have the best gear. Maybe he's a lower level player. Maybe, just maybe, the person who come up there and is picking on him beat him in PvP really, really badly, and hasn't had enough wins, but what they've got to come to the commons and talk some trash to him to make them feel a little bit worse. Why do people do that? Not only in this game, even though this video is about this game in this particular instance, why do people do that? Why do people feel the need to make somebody else feel bad to make themselves feel better? Do they even feel better doing that? Yes, this game does have areas where it needs improvement. But one of the areas where it most needs the improvement and things most need to change is this community itself. This community, while it does have its good points, I will not deny. Okay, it does have its good points. But this community, I mean, I've got to really backtrack a little bit here. Wizard101, back in the day, started out as this bright, shiny apple tree that everybody loved. It made the best fruit, and everybody who came around it was happy. They were like, wow, this is cool, this is awesome, I've never seen such a good game. Okay, fast forward a little bit. The apple tree started fading a little bit, the leaves weren't quite as lustery. Maybe the fruit wasn't quite as big, and people very gradually became dissatisfied. To where, at this point of the day, not only are people in game being toxic to each other, it's spilled out into social media that has to do with this game. A lot of times on Twitter, I'll scroll through the people who I'm following and who follow me and whose comments I can see, and I just had to shake my head. Because a lot of the things, a lot of the toxicity about this game, it's this, it's that, it's so bad, it's terrible, it's broken, it's that, and all these things have bled out of this game and out into the world, out into social media, to where if I was a new player looking for a game to play and I saw a bunch of this, I don't know if I would come and play it. I really don't know if I would, because I'll be like, wow, really? Is it really that bad there? It has spilled over into social media to the point where YouTubers, the people who are supposed to be leading the players in this game with both entertainment and information, are continually backbiting each other. There's drama, there's backstabbing, there's bloodletting, there's all kinds of stuff that we just don't need to have. And that's why I say that the greatest enemy that has come to the spiral these days is us. Sure, this game needs improvements. Sure, it needs updates. Sure, it needs some things to change. But all of those things aren't going to matter, because at the end of the day, what makes or breaks this game is us and how we act, how we treat other people, how we handle ourselves. I have to say, I have to be honest, I've been thinking about this a lot the past week, because this past week I've made a couple of videos. And I really did feel when I was making those videos that they were informative, that they were important, that they were entertaining in their own way. And for some reason, that thing just spun all out of control, where I had like, this is clickbait, this is terrible, this is that, and this is that, and this is that. You know what, guys? I always make the best video that I can, and I don't expect everybody to like it. But the toxicity level made me think about other aspects of this game and things that I've seen, and how people are treating each other in this game these days. People say they want this game to improve, and they want this game to get better, and they want this game to grow again, and all those things, but it's not going to happen. Okay? It is not going to happen given the players' current attitudes about things. Sure, we need new content. I will rail it again. This is probably the third time I said it, and I don't care. Sure, we need new content. Sure, we need some changes to gameplay. Sure, we need some definite big fat hairy improvements to storyline. Sure. But if we as players keep beating it down, eventually it will die. Because while all the storyline and all the bosses and all that stuff is back there, we are the ones who ultimately decide where this game goes. And if y'all don't stop, and think, you know, why do you have to be in the comments making fun of somebody? They put a pretty dress on it by calling it trolling these days, where they're saying things to elicit a particular reaction from a player. Let's just call it what it is. You're making fun of somebody for God knows what reason. You think it's funny? Really? Is it really that funny? Really? Why do people have to make somebody feel bad to feel better? It's something that you need to think about. Have you been somebody that's been picked on or looked down on or whatever else? Not only just in this game, but in life. Have you? Just about everybody has. Just about. Even more importantly and worse, are you one of those people who go to the comments to quote-unquote troll, to be salty, to pick on people, to try to make somebody feel bad because it's funny? Why? Why do you have to? If you do want to play this game anymore, it's a thing that we need to change. If you don't want to play this game anymore, quit. Quit and leave it to the people who do. These are things that you really need to think about, and we as a player group, as a community, and especially as the community leaders, YouTubers, fan site owners, and event hosters and bloggers and all those things need to address together. The toxicity has gotten to the point where we pretty much, there's like 3 groups to Wizard101 now. There's the community leaders that hate the game and don't make any bones about saying so. They're more than happy to trash it at every opportunity. There's the ones trying to look for the good points and trying to save the game. And then there's the new people who will also pick one of 3 directions. They will either follow the people who are trying to be positive, they will either follow the people who are trying to be negative, or they'll just see the foolishness of the whole thing and quit and not play it at all. That's another one of the reasons that this game has declined. I bet you more parents than one. If you're a parent watching this video right now, have you gone into this game or read about this game or seen what somebody said about this game and said, hey, man, my kids aren't playing that. There's just too much going on here that's wrong. The sexual innuendos, the trash talking, the behavior is just wrong. And my kids ain't playing this game. No way. I'll bet you there's more than one parent right now watching this video who has thought that, who probably thinks that right now. If you guys want this game to improve, we need to defeat the toughest enemy of all, and that is ourselves. Guys, work with me on this. Tell me what you think. That's the first step. We've all got to communicate things. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, a good hard smash, as well subscribe, share, and yell my name to everybody you know, because I would most definitely love to see more of you around here. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace!